Previously on China Uncensored. So over the years, the party latched onto the rhetoric of hostile foreign forces undermining China. To the TARDIS! Hey, ladies. Oh, look out!
And you're more lost than you ever were.
Hi, welcome to China Uncensored. I'm your host, Chris Chappell. Now, if there's one thing I love more than anything else, it's a scapegoat. There's also nothing I hate more than anything else. Now, I don't want to sound like some kind of alarmist, but what I have to say will terrify and alarm you. The Chinese government is just a stone's throw away from totally losing control. Nearly all of China's water is either drying up or polluted. A massive economic and housing bubble is about to burst. The country is run by a shadowy bureaucracy with almost no checks on its power, and teenagers are falling in love with each other, not the glorious leader. These are complicated issues, but I can offer a solution. Find a scapegoat. It's great. You can blame it for anything. Now, it's important to remember that your choice of scapegoat doesn't need to be logical. It just needs to be scary, vague, and far away. Let's see what you come up with. Wait a minute. That could be me. Is this what it's like to be a scapegoat? What's this feeling welling up inside of me? Is it empathy? I now have the strength of 10 Grinches, plus 2. Now, the term scapegoat first comes from the Bible, in a ritual where a goat would be saddled with the sins of the people, symbolized by red tassels tied to its horns. The high priest would drive the goat into the wilderness, and when the desert sun had bleached the red tassels white, the sins would be forgiven. Of course, the goat would be long dead by this point. So, what sins are we getting saddled with? Well, at the beginning of November, a movie put out by the People's Liberation Army called The Silent Contest said everything. Well, hold on just a goat-loving second. Everything? Yeah, everything. How about Hong Kong residents protesting to get universal suffrage, something the Chinese regime has promised to give eventually? Obviously, US and British consulates are trying to inspire subversion against the mainland. If things get out of control, the People's Liberation Army might have to move in and restore order. Hey, maybe even the 50 years promised under Hong Kong basic law to keep the city under one country, two systems might have to get cut short. China, I think you're getting the hang of the scapegoat thing. What about the internet crackdown? I mean, they have to do something about all those rumors being spread online. After all, as General Liu Yazhou said in October, hostile Western forces are trying in vain to use this to topple China. At the beginning of the year, protests erupted over Chinese censors altering the front page editorial of the relatively liberal Guangzhou-based Southern Weekend. A leaked government directive said this incident's development is due to the meddling of hostile outside forces. Back in December 2011, when mass protests erupted in Wukong Village because the government didn't properly compensate villagers for farmland seized for development, they were colluding with foreign media to create trouble, as Zheng Yangxiong put it. Don't know who he is? Why, just this July he was promoted to deputy propaganda chief of the entire Guangdong province. Wukong is in Guangdong. I wonder how he qualified for the propaganda job. Well, that's all the examples I have. I'm kidding. Those were just the sane ones. Now for the interesting ones. 4 judges and a high official caught with prostitutes? This incident gave an opportunity for domestic and foreign hostile forces to attack the party, government, socialist judicial system, and Shanghai party and government cadres. He was the high official caught with the prostitute, and he blamed foreign hostile forces for causing trouble. Sure. What about the wave of self-immolations by Tibetans this year? Why, obviously that's the work of hostile foreign forces trying to separate Tibet from the mainland, according to a state-run newspaper. Okay, well, how about pollution? I just did a story about Beijing's off-the-scale air pollution. Surely, hostile foreign forces can't be behind that. Oh, ye of little faith. China is a big exporter, and many foreigners have been benefiting from China's green products. However, the pollution incurred during the production process are left in China. What brilliant minds the Communist Party has. Like Chiu He, party secretary for Yunnan province. He suggested at the 2 sessions that, is the biggest policy-making meeting in China, that China should dam up all of their rivers so water isn't wasted flowing into other countries. Take that, hostile foreign forces. No horrible polluted toxic water for you. But when hostile foreign forces gets a little too vague, there's always the Diaoyu Islands to whip up the public into a frenzied mob. That's right. Ignore the actual problems facing your country for tiny uninhabited islands. And if even playing the anti-Japanese card doesn't work, there's always that terrorist leader of the splittist clique, that wolf in monk's robes, a devil with a human face but the heart of a beast, the Dalai Lama. Thanks for that quote, Jiang Qingli, current vice chairman of the CPPCC and former party chief of the Tibetan Autonomous Region. So beware hostile foreign forces, China has your number. Thanks for watching this episode of China Uncensored. Check out the Facebook and Twitter page for more. I'm Chris Chappell. See you next time.